Let me guess, you have been feeling stuck in life. You probably have even felt like you are just constantly spinning those wheels, but you are stuck in the same place. Your life, it seems as if it's just on autopilot. So if you could transform your life and how you present yourself to the world, would you? What if I told you that changing all of that really starts with rebranding yourself? Hi, my name is Terica, and on this channel we talk about all things self-care, productivity, and essentially just becoming your best self. And I want to help you as I encourage myself to just really achieve all the things that it is that we want to achieve in life and really just become the best versions of ourselves. So in this video, as you can see by the title, we are going to be discussing rebranding yourself. So if that is something that you want to figure out and that's something that you want to learn more about, then stick around to the end of this video. And with that being said, let's get into it. So not long ago, I had been hearing people talking about rebrand. However, I was under the misconception that rebranding was strictly for businesses because that was the context that I would hear that in. However, I learned later on that rebranding can actually be for you as well. And it can be essential for you to increase in every area of your life, whether that be professionally, whether that be socially, emotionally, or physically. It is okay to rebrand. All rebranding is transforming how you want yourself to be looked at in the world. It's how you want people to view you, essentially. I know there are times and areas in your life where you feel like you've just kind of outgrown that particular role. It might be a role within your career, or that might even be a role in a personal relationship that you have with someone. But you know that you've outgrown that. You know, sometimes we can see this a lot too in friendships. You can be friends with somebody for several years. However, you guys have gone on different paths and you no longer fit into each other's mold of who you are currently today. There have been many times where I felt like, I couldn't necessarily grow, or I didn't know how to grow. I didn't know the means of what that looked like, what that entailed. I didn't know how to do it essentially, but I knew that I needed to do it. And so I started researching more and more on just basically like how to transform your life, like all of that type of stuff. And essentially that's how I got to this self-help place, because I was searching for how to be a better person, how to be more positive, how to do all of these typical things. And this is something that I continue to see. Rebrand. So I thought, okay, what can I do to rebrand? How can I present myself in a different way to the world? And so I'm going to talk about some steps that I took, as well as steps that you can take in order to rebrand and show the world who you are currently to this day. If you've ever heard of anyone talking about alignment, then that is essentially what rebranding is. It's recognizing what aligns with this life that you are trying to have. Aligning with who you are trying to be, essentially. So let's get into the blueprint, honey, okay? Let's get into this step by step on how you are going to rebrand your life. Step number 1, you are going to ask yourself why. I think that is such an important first step, because you shouldn't want to rebrand because other people are rebranding. You should want to rebrand because it is something that you want to do. But you need to start with a few questions. Ask yourself, why is it that I want to rebrand? Is this something that's more personal? Is this something to advance my career? Is this something to get, a different outcome on something that it is that I'm looking for? You need to start there and really challenge yourself and figure out why you want to rebrand. You should not want to rebrand because others are rebranding, because that's what you see on social media, because that's all that you're hearing people talking about. Oh, I'm doing this, I'm getting this together, yada, yada, yada. You should not want that. Like, you should have a specific reason or a specific goal when it comes to rebranding. And sometimes when you are on social media, your mind and your judgment has become so clouded because you're doing everything else that everybody else does. And you realize that is not really who you are. Sometimes rebranding is simply just showing up more authentically, knowing how to stay true to yourself so that others can really figure out who you are as a person. And sometimes it's just as simple as that. When it comes down to rebranding, you want to envision who you want to become. So when people hear your name, or when people say your name, what is it that you want them to say about you? What do you want them to think about you? Is it that you are such a friendly person? Is it that you are authentic? Is it that you are very smart and kind? Is it that you're generous? You really should think about the things that you want. Like, how do you want to come off towards people? When they say your name, what do you want them to say? What do you want to be known for? Do you want to be known for the person who's making everybody laugh? Do you want to be known for the person who is giving literally the shirt off of their back? Do you want to be known as the person that is easy to come to for advice? That's another question that you want to ask. You want to ask why you want to do it. Why do you want this rebrand? What do you want to be known for? Who do you want to be known for? And you also need to ask what in your life feels like it's out of alignment. You know, sometimes you just get this feeling that something is off. And that just means that your body is internally telling you that something is not right. Something is out of alignment. I don't know, that could be something emotionally, that could be something spiritually, but nevertheless, you need to figure out what that something is. And that way you have an idea of what you need to do in order to get that back in alignment. One exercise that I have heard people talking about and people doing is like writing down basically a vision statement. They wrote down exactly who they are and who they wish to become and the things that they want to be known for, essentially. And so I want to challenge you to also join in and write that vision statement as well. You can drop it down in the comments if you want. You can put it on a separate sheet of paper and save it at your nightstand and just read that over and over and over so that it's constantly in front of your face. Like, this is who I want to become. This is who I'm trying to become. This is the person. And you have to realize that you have to just let go of all the other stuff that's not that. If it's not on that paper, then that's it. Let it go, because that's no longer who you are. On that paper is who you're trying to become, so that's the things that you need to be chasing after. Step number 2, you need to identify what exactly needs to be changed. So are these particular habits that need to be changed? Is this your environment that needs to be changed? Do your friends need to be changed because you've outgrown them? You need to do a deep dive. A complete audit, and be transparent and be very open and honest with yourself about what it is that needs to change. For me, and I mentioned this in one of my previous videos, I had to let go of some of my old habits. Some of my old habits include like not getting enough sleep. Some of my old habits include talking on the phone for hours. I also had to get rid of my mindset, because sometimes I didn't always have the best mindset. I would let doubt get to me. I would let, depression get to me. I would let all these things get to me, and it really negatively affected me as a person, and it also affected the people that were around me. So that's something that I personally had to change as well. In addition, I also had to let go of procrastination. Y'all, I was such a procrastinator. And I wasn't always this person, so I'm not sure exactly what happened or when I made that particular change, but I became pretty lazy, for lack of a better term. And I don't know if it's because I just overexhausted myself. I always did X, Y, and Z, but I was so tired, and I would just put off the things that I needed to get done. So that put me even further behind in a lot of things. And I had to let that go, because how am I going to say I want to achieve this thing in content creation if I'm not putting the work in? How am I saying I want to get out of financial debt if I'm not putting the work in? If I'm procrastinating on paying my bills, if I'm hiding and not answering the bill collectors, like I'm not answering their call, like how can that happen? So I want you to make a list of 3 things that you want to improve or change immediately. Put it down on a sheet of paper, and then work on changing those particular things. At the end of the day, what matters is making sure that the things that you're doing matches the vision of who you want to become. Step number 3 is you want to develop your personal brand. Okay, so this one gets a little bit juicy. Juicy might not be the right word, but this is definitely something that you are going to have to actually work for and work towards, okay? So those things include your appearance. This includes your style, how you look overall, This includes your posture and just how you carry yourself. So me personally, like, no shade to those who do it, but I am not the one who is just going to like blast my body all over the internet. You know what I mean? Like, I have put up swimsuit pictures just to have a swimsuit picture up, but if that's not something I consistently like want to be known for, like showing my body, then I'm not gonna do it. I also just wanted to take the time to care more about myself. So I want to make sure that I'm getting my hair done more. This is a personal thing of mine. Like, I do not like my curly hair anymore. I don't know what it is, but my curly natural hair, I just do not feel adequate when I have it. It just does not look good to me or anything like that. So I am trying to change that. One of the things that I did was I just tried a new hairstyle. And though, you know, my hair looks straight now, like I did have it curled, I had it blown out, and I really took the time to try something new, because I'm like, okay, I want to be known for the person who is keeping herself up. I don't even necessarily have to have on a full outfit all the time, but I want to be dressed nicely so that when I go out, like, I don't feel like a bum and I don't look like a bum. My husband was always the one like, oh, just throw something on, just throw something on. But I was just never that person, and I just felt like I had to put on jeans or just a cute outfit because that's what I wanted to be known for. Even if it was to go to the grocery store or the gas station, like, I wanted to be known for that person. And my grandmother always said and always told me when she was living that you only get one chance. Like, your first appearance is everything. Like, I work in healthcare where I wear scrubs every single day. And do you not know, like, my grandmother, she wasn't alive when I became a nurse, but she was just like, you know, you need to iron your clothes. You don't need to go anywhere wrinkled. People should not see wrinkles in your clothes. And will you believe, I actually iron my scrubs, okay, because I just want to look presentable. And so that's just something that I personally do and feel like it goes a long way. It just means that I took the time and effort to care about how I look that particular day. Do I always get it right? No. And some days I don't always look the best, but I do really want to put more of an effort on what it is that I look and how I present myself. I want to carry myself in a posture where people can respect me as a person and as a woman. And they're not coming and talking to me sideways because they feel like they can, essentially. So that's something that I definitely want to work on. But whatever it is, just make sure that you're presenting yourself in an authentic way to you. In addition to your appearance, you also want to make sure you are rebranding your behavior. So, you know, there was a time and a place when we were a little bit younger where we used to be wild, like kiki, cuckoo, like laugh, extremely obnoxious. I remember going to a restaurant here in Atlanta and people jumping and dancing on tables and literally acting crazy. And I don't want to say too much on that because I know that I have partaken in that before in the past, not jumping on tables, but just acting, you know, different than what I normally would act. And I'm sure that you guys have as well. But when it comes to that type of thing, like, I don't want it. I don't even want to be anywhere where it's like loud music. I just don't want any parts of that, okay? And I honestly feel embarrassed when I go places and I see other people act a certain way, which is how I know, like, okay, Terica, you do not want to act that way. So making sure that the behavior and how I'm acting is really true to myself. And that will honestly go such a long way. Like, that says a lot about you. That says a lot about your brand, how you act, how you communicate with others. So just changing that will take you far in the long run. And the other thing about developing your personal brand is that you want to develop some skills and some values. So like how I would say, you know, when people were dating and people would say, what do you bring to the table? Think about that in general, like in your brand as well. What is it that you bring to the table? Why should someone want to follow you? Why should someone want to be friends with you? What are you going to do? Do you provide a safe space for them, for this person? Do you just, you know, elude so much knowledge where this person is just going to learn so much from you and you're going to be of value to them in that way? Are you just so kind and generous that you are going to show others how to be more generous in their giving? What is it? What skills? Are you equipped to know like Microsoft Word and Excel and all of this, and you can help someone's business elevate by knowing those things? So whatever it is, I feel like you should develop or want to develop some type of skill or asset that will allow you to be valuable to the next person. Step 4 is creating an action plan. So you may want to break this down into particular months or even quarters, but you want to start doing things and changing things slowly, okay? So maybe month 1, you are going to kind of just audit yourself and audit your social media. Is what you have posted, is that reflective of who you want to be? If not, go through and take all of that stuff away. Month 2, you may want to start changing your wardrobe, adding more selective pieces, more high quality pieces, or pieces that's going to really show others that you are in this thing for the better, and that what you used to dress like or what you used to look like is no more. You may also want to take the time to get some updated photos. You might want to get some personal headshots, especially if you're looking to rebrand in your career. You want to make sure that others can see you and see the new person that you are becoming. In month 3, you might want to go ahead and start working on a new skill. Like for me, I personally would love to learn Spanish. That has always been a goal of mine, and one of the apps that I use is Duolingo, and I can sit and just practice my Spanish at any time. So find some type of new skill. I also look at like Coursera, which has free courses that you can take. They're actually college courses that you can take, and that has been beneficial. And I also try to listen to different things on LinkedIn. So if you guys are not on LinkedIn Learning, then what are you doing? LinkedIn Learning has a lot of different courses. I mean, from Excel to, you know, other like SQL reports and just social media. It has things on communication, being an effective listener, you know, how to improve being like an employee in general. It has so many different options, and so I would suggest also starting there if you can. I think that it might be free. I'm honestly not sure if that is a free service or not. I think it is free actually. But I know that I also get it through my organization. My organization also kind of has something where you could get on LinkedIn Learning and learn as well. So you might want to check with whatever organization that you are with, whatever company you're with, and see if that's something that they offer. But I honestly think it is going to be for free. Just check that, but don't quote me. Don't quote me. Just check it though. I also encourage you to just do weekly check-ins just to make sure the things that are listed in your action plan, you are actually upholding that essentially. So make sure you are checking in with yourself and you are actually knocking off those things so that you do not get behind in this rebrand, because that's not what we want. Just always remember that a dream without a plan is a wish. So in order to get these things done and what you want, you have to have a plan and you have to be able to execute that plan. So I'm rooting for y'all. We can get it. So the next tip in order to rebrand yourself is you want to actually build your personal network. Now, I know you guys have heard plenty of times before that networking is key. And sometimes it's not about what you know, but it's about who you know. And I find that to be true. But not in the sense that you necessarily are going to gain something from them, but in the sense that they inspire you to be better. You know what I mean? Like, you want to surround yourself and your community with people that you want to be like. Essentially, you want to be around people who motivate you to grow and to be better. Especially with the old friends, sometimes you have to let your old friends go because you can't take everybody with you to the new place that you're going. And I've mentioned that before in a previous video, but you have to be serious about who it is that you hang around. There is a saying that says, if you want to know how a person is, look at the top 5 friends that they hang around, and that will tell you everything you need to know. So I think that that is such a true statement. You really have to be around people who want you to be better. You have to be around people who are motivating you. You want to be motivated and inspired. You have to be around people who are generous and who are kind and who are joyful and who are, you know, all these other things that are good, because that is going to help you. That's going to motivate you to be those things as well. This personal growth network, I mean, it's going to include friends. It's going to include people, you know, professionally, people who can mentor you. It's going to include just other people who align with the version of yourself that you're trying to become. And when you find these people, actually be intentional about starting a relationship with them. I don't want you to follow these people or try to reach out, you know, one time because you want something. That's not how that works. Like, actually get to know that person, develop a personal relationship with that person, and I feel like that's going to take you so far. You know what I mean? And you will just be able to really learn something from them in the long run. And anything and anybody who is a negative influence on you, then you have to just let that go, because that's no longer who you are going to be. So if they, you know, are out here doing all kinds of things and being talked about, that might not be somebody that you want to hang around. If they are out partying and they're not showing up to their interviews or their work events or something like that, and they're not performing on their job, that's not somebody you want to hang around. So you want to essentially cut off, you know, those ties of people that are no longer good for you, people that do not align with you. You want to let them go. It will be hard. That will be one of the hardest things, especially if it's somebody that you have known for a very long time, but you have to just let that go. Some people may wonder, like, how can I find people that I want to be like? How can I find people whose community that I want to be a part of? And honestly, you might just have to get out a little bit more. You might find this community within your church. You might find this community in a Pilates class. You might find this community on a Facebook group. Who knows? There are different ways to find communities. You might find this community through a friend who has friends that you like and you admire. So there's many different ways to find communities. You just have to put yourself out there. You're not going to find your community just sitting at the house. Sorry, you're not. So just being intentional, learning how to find a community, and knowing who you want around you is essential when it comes to rebranding yourself. And with all of this being said, just remember to embrace the process. Rebranding yourself is not something that is going to happen overnight. It honestly might not even be something that happens over the course of a year. It can take time to fully develop and transform into the person that you want to be. Just be patient with yourself. And if you do have some sort of setback, or, you know, if you have not really figured out how to align with the person who you want to become, then that is okay. Just take one step at a time, one thing at a time, change that, and then build on from there. But you have to have that patience with yourself and just understand that you are going to mess up, and that's okay. That's when you lean in on your community and you say, hey guys, I'm trying to accomplish X, Y, and Z. This is what I need. This is how you can help me if you don't mind. Before we end this video, I just want to also remind you guys that you are going to have the challenges, and here's a couple of challenges that you might experience. You might experience fear, and you might experience fear of being judged. And people might say, oh, who she thinks she is? Like, oh, she's changed. Oh, you think you X, Y, and Z. You know what I mean? And if they say you changed, you say, yes, I have. And I'm currently continuing to change, and I'm changing for the better. Everybody is not going to understand your transformation. Everybody is not going to know why you are doing the things that you do, especially when it's down to getting involved in Jesus Christ and, you know, spirituality and all of that. People are not going to understand that at all, and that's okay. It's not for them to understand. That's just a personal thing for you, and as long as you understand it and God understands it, then that's okay. But just keep in mind, like, you might be judged. That should not deter you from becoming the person that you want to become. Just be sure to focus on the people who are there to support you and who are truly there to see you grow and want to genuinely help you grow. Another thing that you might experience is imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome is something, I mean, that I even deal with quite frequently. Is just feeling like I am not good enough. Like, my work is not good enough. And I don't know if you guys have ever experienced that or not, but if you have, it's really not a good feeling at all. and you're second guessing yourself and you just have so much doubt that just clouds your mind. We also have to learn to block those thoughts out and just really encourage ourselves to continue pushing forward. So rebranding yourself is not about becoming somebody else, but it's just about becoming a better version of you. Who doesn't want that? You will be a person who is now confident, fulfilled, happy. Just, you are going to be such a great person after this rebrand and after you transform your life. And not only that, but you are also going to be just aligned with purpose. And when you feel like you have achieved that purpose, you feel like you have accomplished what it is that you're meant to do on this earth, like you will just feel so fulfilled. Like, it's just a feeling. You're gonna feel fulfilled. And so that's something you continue to search for and continue to work towards. So if this video helped you, be sure to give it a thumbs up. I want to make sure that, you know, we are doing this thing together. Also subscribe to my channel so that we can become the best version of ourselves together, and hit that little notification button so you do not miss another video. If you feel led to, comment down below and let's just chat in the comments. Like, what is something that you're looking to change here in the future? What are you now aligning with that is going to bring you or make you a different person? Let's chat about it. But thank you guys so much for tuning into this video, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.